Hello, we should be live now. Hi, how's it going everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander and welcome to my live stream. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons episode 119, the finale of the Blueberry Academy arc. A major evolution occurs in this episode, and yeah. So how was this episode overall? Well, before we get started, just for those that are brand new here and, experiencing the streams for the first time, here's what we do. Usually give it about 5-10 minutes for people to start showing up, and at that point, I give my summary of the episode, give my thoughts, assign a rating to the episode, and then I hand it over to the chat. And we usually go for about an hour, hour and a half. So I'm wondering if maybe we should start doing, 45 to an hour, but that's for you guys in the chat to decide. Maybe I'll put a vote out there, but for a while we've been doing an hour, hour and a half, sometimes less, sometimes more, but yeah. Typical length for these streams. Anyways, another thing to mention here is the music here in the background is from the Video Game Study Lounge from Game Chops. Lo-fi remixes of video game music along with some original sprinkled in here from there. And yeah, it's good stuff. It's chill. I listen to it quite a bit. Link in the description. Check it out after the stream ends. And if you're showing up here, be sure to like the stream. Likes are important. Also subscribe if you haven't already. And vote in the poll. And join the chat. We welcome as many people here as possible. So Sharon's here, Steven's here. Wonder what's next after the Dot Penny episode. We don't know. Brown... No, wait. Brolish Shub? I can't pronounce, sorry. 1559. Hi, welcome in. Something I wonder about the battle is how Archaludon used Metal Burst again, even though it didn't take a hit after it used it once. I don't know, anime logic. It happens. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Happy to have you all here. By the looks of it, this will be the first series of fully evolve all three starters and other Pokemon under the main cast. Probably. Seeing as Quaxwell's evolution is already teased. Miraculous 365, hey, what's up? Welcome in. I think we're just waiting for Pokefan and Thomas and the usual crew. You think they're rushing the evolutions at this point? Maybe a little bit with a Heterine, but I feel like this evolution was deserved. So I wouldn't call this rushed. It does feel like we are approaching the end, so they might be like, oh, well, we got to get these out of the way. And seeing as we have a potential evolution happening in next week's episode, yeah. After this point, it's just Quaxwell and Charcadet. Giving Who Evolves in next week's episode 3 evolution episodes back to back is too much. Maybe. Then again, a little guy here has been collecting coins for a while, so he's marching his way up to 1,000 coins. But, yeah, I do have a few things for this episode summary. So anyways, it's been about 5... Okay, I've been hearing rumors that Horizon will end by next April. Well, we don't know for sure, so let's not take rumors as the truth for now. Then again, a break is really needed for the Pokemon anime, so if it ends in April, then I guess. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this episode now. We found out from Miss Briere that she's actually figured out probably what needs to happen for the Recurium to be completely eradicated. And that is for not only Terrapagos to enter its Stella type, but it needs 18 Pokemon, also all 18 Terra types to be represented around it in order to fully eradicate it. Another thing, too, is it seems like the Pokemon need to be at least at the level of the Pokemon heroes, so it seems like we are going to have some of our characters, some of our Pokemons getting up to their level pretty soon. So, yay! So, I guess we're going to try to rescue the 5 out of the 6 hero Pokemon, even though that didn't really work out so well last time. And Roy is kind of headstrong and trying to rush it. Which, we got old Roy showing up here, where he just wants to rush in and, save the day, but Liko ends up calming him down, which was funny. Nice little moment. And then Drayden happens to be there and requests that Roy has a battle with him. And at first, Roy's a little hesitant, but then Liko and the others decide to encourage him to take on Drayden a second time. So then we get Roy versus Drayden Part 2. Kind of similar to last time, the same Pokemon are utilized, but it seems like Roy has caught on a little bit to Drayden's techniques this time. So there's a couple highlights here. I do like the fact that, Drayden was using the weather to his advantage, and Roy had to overcome that. We also get Kilowattrel's ability. Wind power revealed here. Doesn't really get to use it a whole lot, but yeah. Not to mention, what's his face? Staplermon over here. Its ability is also utilized too, where its defense keeps increasing. Anyways, one of my main highlights here is I like the fact that in order to get out of the hurricane, Crocolar basically used Flamethrower to basically just propel it and Kilowattrel out of the hurricane like a rocket, which I thought was kind of interesting. It was kind of neat too, because they realized that Kingdra was a problem and needed to be taken out. I feel like Drayden got a little bit he let his guard down a little bit here, and I like how it looked like Kilowattrel just dropped Crocolar, but it was it was planned all along, because Kilowattrel crashed into Kingdra, and then Crocolar used Dazzling Gleam on it, super effective, and took it out. So now Roy is actually taking advantage of the battle. Unfortunately, at one point, Crocolar was about to get slapped with a metal burst, until Kilowattrel came in and saved the day by sacrificing itself. My boy. At least he was useful in this battle. So it's between their... it's 1v1 again. And Crocolar used a Stomping Tantrum a couple times. And eventually ends up evolving into Skeledirge. While evolving. While using Stomping Tantrum, and yeah. Then they terrestrialize their Pokemon, and we get basically a beam struggle, essentially. Well, actually, the beam struggle, I think, was beforehand, excuse me. They hit each other with their moves, and it seems like both of them are knocked out, but Skeledirge ends up standing up and wins. With Roy winning the battle. Went down to the wire. So my boy Roy his evolution for Fuecoco to Crocolar to Skeledirge, it's all come full circle. So, yay. Also, to address the elephant in the room really quickly, Kieran and Armoriz and Crispin show up and say nothing.
More on that in a little bit, because let's just say I'm not too happy right now about that.
But anyways, we're wrapping up. We're getting ready to leave the Blueberry Academy after it seems like we've only been here for like a couple episodes, which we were. Getting ready to head out, and it looks like another thing that Miss Briere mentioned is that, actually not Miss Briere, Dot ends up contacting Crave, who actually reveals that there's an Exceed museum, but it actually is a museum as a disguise, because it's actually a data center. So they're going there to get some more info on the Requiem, and Dot is recruiting Penny. So Penny is officially joining us, at least for now. So, yeah, so overall, I gotta say, well, I would give this episode like a solid 9 for me, because I think it is a good episode and it's a good evolution episode. And my boy Fuecoco to Crocolar to Skeledirge might be one of my favorite evolution like lines and developments among Pokemon in the entire Pokemon anime. It is very wholesome and it is just really well done. Going from a Mon that couldn't even use a singular move to now being fully evolved and being a powerhouse in itself. Yeah, that's some good development there. Love it. So, gotta love that aspect in the episode. The battle was cool. I do feel like it could have, Roy could have used like an episode where he like reflected on his previous loss, because he even mentions in the episodes like, I can't leave on a losing streak. But we didn't really get that. But, hey, I think he kind of learned to adapt to Drayden's battle style, which I thought was pretty nice. So no complaints there. I know some people weren't too happy that he ended up coming back and winning, because Drayden is an Elite Four member in the Blueberry Academy, but I don't know if you can consider him on the level of other Elite Four members in the other regions, so I guess it's okay. I'm trying to think what else. I think the story is going in an interesting direction, with us having to get the 18 Pokemon to terrestrialize and be on the same level as the hero Pokemon in order to eradicate the Requiem. So we have an end goal for this series in stopping the Requiem. So there's that. But gotta address my big issue with this episode, and it's that we have a couple of important characters that showed up here to watch the battle and didn't say a word. 2 of the Elite Four Blueberry Academy members that should have been utilized here, and then my boy Kieran. I'm not the biggest fan of him in the games, but I wanted him to be at least represented here. And yes, he exists. Cool, but he got the Arven treatment, which I have a problem with, and I might actually be making a video on this, because yeah, this them showing up in this manner pretty much convinced me that means that Arven is probably not going to have any significance in this series, alongside Kieran and these 2, Crispin and Armoriz. So, very disappointed with Horizons here. I have to knock out a point because of that. So, yeah, I might be making a video in the next week or so because of this. I don't know, next week we might be getting some more episode titles and summaries, so I might wait another week to release it, but I'm not too happy that this came up not once but twice in the series, and to 2 of the most important characters in the games, because like, what are we doing, Horizons? Like, come on. It wouldn't be so bad if, like, the other, Scarlet and Violet characters didn't really have any, like, importance here, but look at Miss Briere! She's having more of a role in this series than freaking Arven could have. I mean, Nemona's not, like, the most important character here, but she is at least a rival to Roy, but, like, come on. I don't know, man. I just bothers me quite a bit. Anyways, 8 out of 10 for me, so. Anyways, yep. Let's see where we left off in the chat. Every one of their Pokemon evolving would make sense since this isn't Ash's anime anymore. Yep. Curious if the Gen 10 anime will fully evolve 3 stars on their main cast or no. I have no clue because we have no idea what the Gen 10 anime is going to be. Kilowattra and Skeledirge. Oh, hey, what's up, Rex? Kilowattra and Skeledirge are very well written in terms of combat performance and tacit understanding between them. Personal favorite is the plot of Kilowattra protecting Crocolar. It is pretty nice. Is a little disappointed that he didn't get to knock out Kingdra, but they basically like worked in tandem to take it out. So it was kind of like both of them essentially defeated Kingdra, if we're being honest. Because if it wasn't for them basically doing that 1-2 combo, they wouldn't have taken it out. I mean, prior to this episode, I knew the Kilowattra had the wind power ability. I think it was revealed here, though, for the first time, though, Sharon. Kilowattra took out Kingdra. Happy that Karen, Amaris, and Crispin only made cameo and did not say anything. Yep. Like, they did Carmen and Kieran dirty in this. I don't... well, yeah, at least Carmen at least had a speaking role, but yeah, I'm not really too pleased with how they've been handled. Carmen has gotten a little bit more this arc, but not as much as she should have. 8 out of 10. Fuecoco, Crocolar, Skeledirge evolutions were great. Fuecoco, the Pokemon that could not even use a single one, becoming a powerhouse, a great transformation development. Exactly what I said. They pointed out that Archelodon Metal Burst works when it hits, but they never said it doesn't work if it's not hit, so it's fine. I mean, I do want the little Firebird and Kilowattra to interact with each other. It'd be nice. I'm glad Kilowattra even got a little development here in protecting its brother from the Metal Burst attack. Yep, and was pretty much instrumental in taking down Kingdra. Let's not forget that. Technically, according to Bulbapedia, both of Roy's Pokemon took out Kingdra together. Yep. Oh, hey, what's up, Super Plush Productions? To be honest, Quaxwell is not getting much battle time, and when it does battle, it gets destroyed by the Explorers, so it's not as strong as Liko and Roy or even Alt. Makes sense why they didn't evolve. It hasn't evolved yet, though. It seems like Gimmighoul is up next, apparently, which is kind of awkward that Dot's other Pokemon that it got after Quaxley fully evolved before it did, which is kind of awkward. Oh well. I mean, episode 116, we see Kilowattra charging its power when it was hit by a hurricane, but it wasn't really confirmed there. This was an actual confirmation, though. Yeah, it's confirmed. So it was kind of like slightly revealed there, but confirmed. As of this episode, I might consider Roy possibly being champion tier. I don't know if I would put him that far. He needs a full battle and winning against Nemona to be champion level, in my opinion. But the thing about it is, it's pretty much confirmed that, like, their Pokemon are going to be on the level of the 6 heroes, which means they are going to be exceptionally strong by the time the series ends. I mean, they are getting to that point, but yeah. I personally really like how Liko uses deep breathing to soothe Roy's emotions, relieve his stress and low mood, and convince him to take Drayden's challenge. Their interactions are truly touching. Yeah, I like how afterwards after the battle, he ends up apologizing. He's like, "Yeah, this is actually like a great idea. Look at the result. My Pokemon evolved." And I will say, it looks like Skeledirge still retains that same kind of personality, though it does look like it's matured a bit, which is nice. It's a full circle development, though. I want Kilowattra to learn more moves because it's not learning much moves, yeah. Probably low champion tier at best. I'd say they're like is approaching Elite Four levels, but I don't know if I'd even put them there yet. If you want to call like Drayden like on par with Elite Four members in other regions. Roy has the perfect team. Think he could add something else, or is he done? I'm concerned how the anime will treat Skeledirge with him being a bigger and more bulky mon and more limited with movement and facial expressions. I don't think I'm really that concerned. I just want to see how Torch Song looks in the anime. 9 out of 10, they should have stayed at Blueberry Academy longer. Yeah, it feels a little abrupt. Because they came here for training and they weren't really here very long, it seems. It doesn't feel like they were here long, and really, like, Liko and Roy were the ones, like, well, and a little bit of Alt got development. Dot, unfortunately, didn't really get anything, which I guess this next episode is kind of making up for that. With her potentially having also having an evolution. I don't know if they would want to animate Skeledirge walking around with Roy in almost every episode now. Well, maybe we'll have to see what happens, Sharon. I wouldn't say anything yet until we see it in the next upcoming episodes. Though next week's episode is Dot focused. Because of this episode, I really don't mind them leaving BB Academy, though I wish they could stay a bit longer. Yeah, the only thing is, like, I wish they stayed longer, but I feel like this was, like, the best way to end that arc, if that makes sense. It just kind of it's a little unsatisfying when you see Kieran, Amaris, and Crispin showing up during this battle, and it's like, dude, we could have had them. Like, I mean, I get that Drayden and Lacey are more popular than the other two, but still, they could have like participated. Armors could have trained Dot, and Crispin could have trained maybe Liko. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really work very well. I almost feel like Crispin works with Alt, but he got stuck with Lacey. And then Kieran, yeah. Why? I don't know what's worse. Not showing up at all or showing up and doing absolutely nothing. Also, Bria revealing she's seen Stella Terapagos and Carmen stopping means that the Kieran story already happened. Yeah, but he's got his, like, edgy design, though. That's the weird thing. And another thing, too, is I just want to point out once again that unless they, like, specifically say something, I wouldn't believe that the Horizon series is canon to the games and it takes place afterwards. I just don't believe that. The anime and the games are two separate universes, in my opinion. Until, like, a director comes out and says, actually, yeah, we designed this series as being a sequel to Scarlet and Violet. I kind of don't buy it, personally. I mean, we got Skeledirge in this episode, and what happened last month? People were like, oh, Crocolar is not evolving, he got an Everstone. Turns out that everybody was wrong, and it was just an ordinary pebble. So, I don't know. I don't think Masquerada is going to learn any more moves because I kind of want it to learn Night Slash. Or Leaf Storm. Maybe another move would be nice, though. It's a pity that their stay was really too short. Hopefully, in the future, they will be able to return to Blueberry Academy. It would be nice, but like I think the odds of that happening are pretty low now. This really felt like a conclusion. Unless they come back and recruit a few of them to go and help out in the final battle, I don't know. Skeleton should learn Shadow Ball and get rid of Disarming Voice. I'm expecting maybe Shadow Ball or something. It's Ghost. It's Fire Ghost, so it should at least learn one Ghost type move, right? Feeling that Torch Song will replace Flame Charge. Yeah, probably. I think Flamethrower is here to stay, but Flame Charge is, which would be kind of unfortunate because it would, it's kind of a slow and bulky mon, so I almost feel like Flame Charge is kind of needed for it. But yeah, the Darth Sparatus. Hello, welcome in. I wish for the Gen 10 not to use any of Ash's Pokemon. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, Pikachu is going to be involved some way. It's just... yeah, Charizard just keeps getting thrown in as well. It's like, hey, you guys remember Gen 1? Yeah, you remember Kanto? Do you remember that from 1996? You remember that series? You remember it? You remember the original 151? Well, guess what? You're getting more of that in the new games. Oh, you got these new mons? Okay, who cares? Here's some more Pikachu and Charizard. Yay. Oh, and don't forget, Mewtwo's getting something. It's happening. Yeah. That's that's how they sell their series, unfortunately. Gotta have a recognizable mon, and, well, yeah. Be nice if maybe Freed diversified his team when he comes back and doesn't have just Gen 1 mons. Just saying. I think Torch Song is going to replace Stomping Tantrum. Maybe. It's going to be disappointing because I think that's been a pretty useful move. In the next episode... Chalice Agate Xatu is actually doing something. Yeah, it actually gets Gimme Go and watch. It's gonna make them get coins for it. I really wanted Liko to battle Armorez and Dot to battle Crispin. Okay. I think Roy Drayden makes sense. I feel like Alt Crispin could work. Then Liko Lacey and then Dot Armorez, I feel like, is what could have worked. It's just that they went in a different direction and only involved 2 of them, so... I don't know. I feel like in hindsight, this Blueberry Academy arc, I just feel like it was way shorter than it needed to be. Like, we weren't in Kitakami for a long time, but we were in Kitakami longer than Blueberry Academy. It doesn't make sense to me. We came here for training, and we trained for just a couple episodes. Also, Blueberry Academy's in the frickin' openings, and we're already gone, so are we going to replace that opening? And add new visuals? I don't know. Very strange decisions. Flame Charge is also very good in battle for Roy, yeah. Alt battles Kieran. I feel like I've said this before. You know, for the main rivals for each character, Roy Nimona, Dot Penny, and then it should be Liko Arvin and Alt Kieran. That just works. I feel like that works, but I just don't think that's going to happen anymore unless something like massively changes in the next few months. Look, I'm telling you guys right now, if we get like an announcement one day and I see Arvin on a poster, I will literally go insane. You will literally see me gushing in a video. Because that is something that I've been waiting for forever, but like after this episode, I'm starting to kind of seriously doubt that that's going to be a thing. Also, Crispin could have trained Charcadet to strengthen its fire moves. That is true. You think the next series would go back to the gym battles? I have no clue. I feel... Okay. I feel like since we're at the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, it wouldn't surprise me if the next series was kind of a return to form, I guess. After like the last like 2 series doing different things. Especially this series. Not that Ash is going to come back, but I wouldn't mind like a new protagonist and having like not the same goal as Ash, but like maybe he has like a certain goal, but like as part of his goal he decides he needs to get stronger and participate in the league challenge or something for the current region's league. And one thing that I want for the next series is I want it to take place solely in the new region, because I don't want region hopping anymore. We did that for Journey, or the series that shall not be named. We did it for Horizons, and I don't want to do that for a third series in a row. I think we need to go back to basics here, at least a little bit. I don't need like the story to be like completely like, oh, we need to just do like the gyms and all that stuff. I feel like they could do something similar to Horizons while having the gym challenge be like a main focal point, if that makes sense. Like, I like what Horizon has done. It's very fresh and it's nice, but I do also think that we need to, like, explore what the core of Pokemon is. And the core is, you know, going on a journey, you know, traveling to all the gyms and then participating in the league. Because that's kind of what Pokemon is all about. I don't mind them deviating, doing something like Horizons. That was a nice change of pace, but 30th anniversary would be nice to kind of do that, and the next series needs to take place exclusively in the new region. Because I don't want characters like Arvin and Kieran just showing up and just having no dialogue, and they're like important characters of the games. We don't need that anymore. Think Kilowattrel is Roy's weakest Mon? I'd say out of the three of them, yeah. Because Lucario is already like shown to be strong, and now we got Skeledirge, and he's a powerhouse in of itself. So yeah, I think Torch Song will replace Disarming Voice, maybe. Also, the whole thing with Liko wanting to help Pokemon would work for Arvin wanting to help his Mabosstiff. Yep, that's what I've been saying for a while. I feel like they could relate to one another. Wait a minute. In Arc 3, I saw a poster of Mabosstiff hinting that Arvin will have a role in that arc, but Mabosstiff didn't even show up. That is right. That is still something that still kind of, like, bothers me. I think it did debut in the anime, but I can't remember. Maybe I'm misremembering. If I can actually use Bulbapedia here, I can even look up Mabosstiff. Yep, episode 106. I wasn't misremembering. It did show up in the series. Wait a minute. Okay, yep. I mean, at the pace of the series is going now, they might want to have the series finished by like April, May of next year. I mean, I've said it before, I do think that the anime needs like a break for like a while, because it's clear that the quality issues that have been hindering the series is just catching up to it. I think a serious break is a need for it. I mean, other series have taken a break. One Piece was off air for a half year, so like, I don't think that it's like out of the realm of possibility that Pokemon anime doesn't do the same thing. Because if Horizons ended in March, April, then that would give the series like 6 months to, like, you know, be off air, kind of just, you know, prepare for the next series, you know, get it in a good state, and then start airing. Granted, it would definitely hurt my channel because I would have nothing to talk about for 6 months, 7 months, if I even decide to talk about the next series. But yeah, I would be alright with a break. I guess I can just stream in the interim. But yeah, the series still has quality and like animation issues and stuff like that I think by taking a breather would help to rectify. It wouldn't completely fix the issue, but it would get the series back on track, and we wouldn't have the problems we're having constantly. Because the previous series, we were running into a lot of issues towards the end, and we're kind of starting to see the same thing happen here in Horizons. And I don't want to see the same thing happen here where we have episodes where it's like, oh, we're going to have a recap episode because we just got to fill in time. It just made a cameo. Yep, we never got the Herba Mystica stuff. Yep. Well, not really the focus here. Gen 10 anime will be start November 2026, probably. Also, would the anime actually want to make us wait like 6-7 months? Well, again, don't. Do you want the series to continue having quality and production issues? Because that's what's gonna just keep. That's gonna go right into the next series, and it's gonna be an endless cycle. Oh, it's Fizzle Wizard. Hello. At least it's not One Punch Man quality. Yeah, that's just sad. It had a great first season, and then its second season went downhill. And I hear this third season is really bad. Like, I think the episodes are getting like really low ratings, which is just sad. I guess what they say is true. Just read the manga for One Punch Man. I mean, Lucario could be Roy's walking mon. Maybe. The pandemic really took a toll on the anime industry. It really did. It really hampered a lot of things. Pokemon was really good up until that point. Then the pandemic hits. Movie gets delayed. And then that's the final movie we've had for like 5 years. With seemingly no sign of it coming back, though we could get something for the 30th anniversary. In fact, I want something for the 30th anniversary, but I don't know what it would be about. I wouldn't mind an original movie. It'd be nice. Huh. Huh. When will they announce the Gen 10 series next October? I have no clue. Sun and Moon and the series that shall not be named were revealed in September of 2016 and 2019, respectively. So if the Gen 10 anime were to show up in November, it would at least have to be shown off by September. Glad to chat with you. Now I'm going to sleep. Goodbye. All right, Rex. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. It was a pleasure. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one, and hopefully you have a good sleep. We will see you later. Just want to stop here and just say really quickly, hey, how's it going? If you haven't already, hit that like button. We are currently at 7 likes. I would definitely appreciate it if we can get 3 more before the stream ends to get to 10. And also remember to vote in the poll. We are currently at only 9 votes. Oof. Somebody said lower than 5 again. Okay, I gotta ask, who's doing that? I really want someone to come forward and answer why they are voting that. Because, yeah. 10-9 is currently winning with 56% of the votes, and then 8-7 is in second place with 3 votes. So 5 votes, 3 votes, and 1 vote for that, and then no votes for 6-5. I mean, we could see the series being 140, 145 episodes. That is true. That's kind of where the last few series have landed. I will say in Horizon's case, Horizons was actually revealed in December of 22. I believe it was after the last episode of the the last real episode of the series that shall not be named. Because that's really where the series that shall not be named ended, and not aimed to be a Pokemon Master. Even though they consider that part of the series that shall not be named, I consider it separate since it doesn't have the same feeling. But literally, like that same day, they announced aimed to be a Pokemon Master, that one special episode where it was Ash in the movie style. And then alongside that was Pokemon Horizons being revealed. Though we didn't know the name yet. We just referred to it as Pokemon 2023. I think we got more info on Horizons, I think February. And that's when we learned about the pendant and Roy and having the ancient Pokeball and stuff. And then aimed to be Pokemon Master ended, and then we got essentially a trailer for Horizons. We are for sure in the home stretch. Well, yeah, we are in the home stretch of the series. We have an end goal for the series now. We know what likely needs to be done to eradicate the Requiem. It's just we need to get the 6 hero Pokemon now. We also need to have 18 Pokemon to be able to do the Terra Stellar, the Terra types for all the Pokemon to power up Stella, Terra, Terrapagos. So that's most likely going to involve, not only just Liko, Roy, Dot, and Alt, but probably some of the other members of Rising Volt Tacklers, probably Nimona, Penny, maybe even Carmen. Would be cool if maybe Arvin and Kieran actually participated as well. But I digress. Potentially Lacey and Drayden. Potentially other characters from Naraja Academy. Maybe even Anne. Who knows? We need a whole crew here to be able to, do this, so that really does feel like it's setting up for the end of the series, which probably will lead us back to Rakua. Probably have to break in there or something. But yeah, we have an end goal for the series, but I think for this arc, I think the main goal now is to rescue the 5 hero Pokemon. And I think this upcoming episode is going to give us some hints as to what we can do. And I guess we'll see what happens from there. Oh, hey, look. Pokemon Lo-Fi here. Johto. Okay, it got kind of quiet here. Is there anything else you guys want to chit-chat about today? Meowscarada will be Grass Terra, Armarouge, Fire. Do you think it'd be Armarouge? Okay. Heatherine, Psychic, Kilowattrel, Electric, Lucario, Fighting, Quaxqueval, Water, Goldango, Ghost, and Tinkaton, Steel. So what about Skeledirge? Also, you got to factor in they only can tear one Pokemon at a time, though, unless they're doing it for multiple Pokemon. I just think that it's probably going to be their aces for the Paldean starter Pokemon, and then maybe for Alt probably either Sableye or Dragonite, maybe even just Dragonite for Dragon. Unless they somehow combine them, I guess the 6 hero Pokemon kind of terrestrialize when they're nearby, so I guess it's possible. I guess time will tell what happens. It could be their whole crew, it could be also their friends as well, who knows. One can also use their Pokemon to help out, as well as Freed. You can use Terra Flying Pikachu and Terra Dark Charizard. That is a good point. Anyways, Is there anything else for today? Because it seems like things have gotten a little quiet here, so if so, we might end a bit early again today. So I guess the question now is, since we've kind of wrapped up this episode, for the next episode, is there any thoughts about Dot and Penny? They're going in disguises. Do you think Gimmighoul is going to evolve? Do you think what do you think we're going to find from the Requiem Museum or the Exceed Museum, since it is a data center? Data center. I wonder if it's a little bit of commentary on a certain problem that's arising in the real world with data centers too, if you know what I mean. Gimmighoul evolves and serves them out of the museum, which is literally what I said in my video yesterday. As stupid as it sounds, I feel like it could work. Okay, well, anything else, y'all? These are cheese stringed. Because if there's not really anything else, we might wrap up here in a minute. Dana would also help out in the final fight along with the Methio. That is true. I would expect a Methio to be there and have his 100% shiny Zygarde. It would be really nice if we got an episode where it shows him finding some Zygarde cells instead of, him just showing up and be like, well, it's 50% now. Well, it's 100% now. I do think that when this series ends, I would like a series of special episodes for each character once they go their separate ways. An episode for Liko, an episode for Roy, an episode for Dot, an episode for Alt. And maybe an episode for the Rising Bolt Tacklers in general. Don't need a whole episode for each one of them, but be like, hey, this is what Freed's up to, this is what Orla's up to, this is what, Murdoch and Molly. You don't necessarily need anything for Anne unless she shows up in Liko's episode. Nimona, Ramame, Terabug. Could Zongo and Onyx also help out? That depends on if they change sides, which unfortunately I do think that they've it shows that they are kind of getting sick of all the attention they're getting, so maybe they eventually turn. But they're not exactly good characters, so kind of feel like they need some type of punishment at the end, unless they kind of redeem themselves massively. She could use Screamtail for Terra Fairy and Glalie for Terra Ice, and Sidon could use Garnicle for Terra Rock. Yeah, maybe. That's if they join, though. Because last time we were in Rakua, they were enemies. They were also part of the problem, too. So, again, they would need a major redemption moment in order for me to be convinced that they're on our side now, Anyways, anything else before we head on out today? Will Paldea gym leaders and Elite Four also help out? I'm not expecting them to. At this point, I just see them just do some more extra training, like maybe Liko versus Grusha Part 2. I don't know. Rico could use Terra Ground, Cloudslayer. Yep. Maybe. anyways, could probably save a hypothetical like 18 type terror type thing for maybe a later time. I might have to like write down something and come up with a list of characters that could utilize certain Pokemon. But we'll probably do that at a later time. We did get that Flying Terra Pikachu merch leak, and so does that mean that we'll see Terra Flying Pikachu? I don't know. Again, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Wonder if Skeledirge bird will have personality. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream since there isn't really much else to talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll at 9 votes. 10-9 apparently won. So I guess this episode gets a 9 out of 10. But yeah. I still think that Kieran and the others should have had a speaking role, but I guess not. Anyways, guys, that does it for today's stream. I thought this was a solid episode overall. Just think that certain characters should talk more. See you for the discussion in next week's episode. Sounds good, Sharon. Anyways, for me, this upcoming week, the next Genshin update is out, so we'll be streaming that Tuesday through probably Thursday or Friday. Because apparently we got more Archon quests and we got a story quest too. So, got quite a bit of material to work with this upcoming patch. Against this previous patch, which was too dry in my opinion. Anyways, that'll be next week. The week after Mega Dimensions comes out, the Game Awards comes out as well. So we'll have that coming up. Besides Mega Dimensions, at some point we're gonna finally tackle the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC that I haven't been able to do the last few months. So we'll finally tackle that next month sometime. Maybe we'll make it DLC December. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so that's what's to be expected this week. We'll probably be getting some more episode titles and summaries here really soon. And yeah, anyways, that's all for today's stream. So if you're still here, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day or night, Riverette, and I will see you all later. Bye.